I didn't want to work for nobody else. That was the promise I made to myself. Because I was like, if I could be fired by my own dad, I could only imagine.
You can fire anybody.
Anybody.
Yeah.
So from there, I was like, screw this. I'm gonna learn as much as I can. I'm gonna become as obsessed as I can. Because like I said, Grant Cardone, Be Obsessed to Be Average, name of his book. It's like, screw this, man. We have to turn this into something. So now, it's been the past few months, I quit drinking, quit everything that's like BS wise, just so I could like focus 100% on creating my ultimate life. And that's where I'm at with it.
How's it going, guys? Welcome to another episode of Secrets to Silent Success. Today we have the one and only Alex Martin. How are you doing this afternoon, sir?
I'm good, brother. Thank you for having me. I'm blessed, man. I can't complain.
Cool. So we'll jump right into it. Okay. So you were working at a law firm, right? And you got assigned a project, right? Wrote out the job description, but it was splicing and putting some videos together. And you were like, okay, this is kind of cool. And somebody noticed and was like, hey, you might have something with this, right? Tell me about that story.
So long story short, ironically, the law firm is down the street from where we're at.
Okay.
But yeah, this is December 2016. I'm coming out of like my previous entrepreneur thing, and I'm working at the firm. And long story short, our media guy was moving so slow that my boss at the time is like, basically giving me, he's going to fire the whole department vibes.
Wow.
I'm like, I'm not about to get fired, dog. I bombed on my first business. There's no way in hell I'm about to accept this. Yeah. So pick up my phone, which is the iPhone 6 at the time. And I'm like, we're going to make this work. I'm going to make sure that when we create this content, he's going to get this content the same day. We ain't going to have to rely on our media guy because he's going to hold up the process. So I do that, man. We're shooting like 4 events, dude, back to back. 2 in Houston, 2 in Dallas. And I mean, immediately, like 30 minutes to an hour after the event, they get their media, and the media, in their opinion, is so good. They're like, how long you been doing this? I'm like, shit, I've been doing this about 3 days. They're like, oh, well, you need to do it. You know, and I've did it. I took a couple gigs after. But they were like, Alex, I think you should take this serious. So I was like, all right, I'll do it.
Yeah.
I do it. And next thing you know, I ended up going to film school later that year and went to film school in New York. And about a month or 2 later, after coming back from film school, you know, they like, you should get you an LLC.
Okay. Start
your business with it. All right, cool, I do that. And next thing you know, I'm here. You know, videography led to photography, and from there, the rest is history. Just like trying to dominate.
Yeah. Tell me, did you see the media, right, whether it's videography, photography, as a passion? When did it become your passion? Talk about that for me.
It's weird, man. You know, honestly speaking, I'm still trying to track it, right? Okay. So in high school, I took a media class. But man, when I tell you I failed that, I felt it quick. I mean, I would skip class, everything. But the teacher, even then, always saw something in me with the visuals that I would create. Okay. And so even when I would listen to music, and ironically, I used to do music, and I would shoot and produce my music videos. Okay. So, I mean, they weren't the best, but people would go then like, oh, who did that? Like, I did it myself, man. I put it on the tripod, and then I, Final Cut. Did it myself. And so now I feel like I always had a thing for visuals. Okay. So if you ever were to be like, hey, Alex, what do you think I should do with this company to design it? I think we should put like lettering here. So I always had that thing. So I think I always had an eye for like what's appealing and what could be next. So I think it started off with just playing around a lot, man. Honestly. And I feel like now I'm falling more and more in love with photography as I get deeper and deeper into it. You know, I feel like that with anything in life, right? You know, the more you try to learn about something and the more you put time into something, the more obsessed you become. So it's like, even then, man, I'm talking to you now, but I'm like, oh, this will look like a dope photo if I did this.
Can't turn it off.
I can't turn it off at all.
Yeah. What advice would you give to, other young people out there that are searching for that passion? Maybe they haven't had someone tell them, hey, you're natural at this. You got something, right? Mm-hmm. Someone saw it in you before you saw it in yourself, right? What advice would you give to other people that are looking for their passion?
Honestly speaking, I think people should try things, right? It's like me, when I got into it, I was just like, I'm gonna try. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm just gonna pull out my phone. I'm gonna shoot this content, this video. And if they like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. Yeah. And from there, take the feedback if you can, but play around with as many things that you are curious about. And I think it will lead you, it will put you on a path. I think that's how God works. Mm-hmm. He tests your curiosity, right? And then through your curiosity, I think you'll find your passion. And next thing you know, the world is buying into who you and what you are.
Yeah. One of the things that you talked about when it comes to passion is being obsessed with it, right? I feel like some of us may dabble here and there. Talk about your obsession with your craft and with your passion. What does that look like for you?
Oh, man. Let's just say over the past, I haven't took a vacation in a year and a half. Shortly before 2 years now. I did a solocation shortly before the pandemic happened, January 2020. So I was like trying to figure this thing on out. So, once in 2021, I did like 6 figures. And I was like, all right, cool. But I still don't feel like I was like, let me take a break. So I feel like I get more and more into it as I go. Like, I got more celebrity clients now. So I'll give you an example. Last night, all those rappers were in town. So Jeezy, Rick Ross. I had a chance to work with one of them.
Oh, wow. Congrats.
Thank you.
Nope.
Couldn't work with one of them because I'm with another celebrity who has a TV show premiering next week. I'm so caught up in my passion right now that any and everything that I do is wrapped up in work. I don't have a dating life right now. All I do is work out and work. So that's my obsession. And I don't think I'm gonna stop for the next 2 to 3 years. If love comes, it comes. But for now, I think the way my mind is like, I really want to be great at this. I want to leave a mark nationally.
Wow.
So I'm not stopping until that happens. So that's my obsession, man. It don't stop and it won't stop.
Got you. You talked a little bit about the celebrity clients, and we'll get to that. But I want to talk about clients in general. Before we start rolling, right? We talked a little bit about it. I know you had a quote. You talked about doing business without morals and values, right? And it's like, hey, now I'm doing business with morals and values to get that ideal client. As a fellow creator who does photo and video, I know exactly what you're talking about. But tell the audience, right? How are you getting your ideal client?
So initially, I always had from the start, once they told me to take it serious, right? Going back to the beginning. I was like influencers, because you know how it is, man. You can see a big business nowadays. You're not even curious about, and even let's look at podcasts for an example, right? We're focused more on individuals than we are on big businesses.
Sure.
Which is crazy because big businesses make the world spin. But it started there, and my morals and my vision was, let me focus on influencers and people that's just trying to build something. I want to be the start of something for people. I believed in their vision. I see their vision. Let me try to bring it to life. All right. You might be starting off as an entrepreneur today, but I see you as this mogul down the road. And that's how I talk to people, even during my shoots. It could be a realtor, So a realtor could be like, hey, I just want a headshot, man. All right, cool. See yourself as top producer. I'm gonna shoot you just like you're a top producer. And from there, that's always been my thing. So I never know who might be the next big thing, but I will always treat them like they were. And I think that, word of mouth initially spread like a wildfire because of how I treated them, how I did business, and even how I turned the media around quickly.
Yeah.
They went back to it. But hopefully I answered your question. But like that's always been my thing. I was like, I would never work with like, and no disrespect to people who do it. I just knew it wasn't my thing. The whole nakedness, and like nothing too extreme, because I ain't gonna lie, like I want it to be commercial to some degree.
Yeah, of course.
You know, so it's like your favorite artist, you know, you could be like Jay-Z, right? Who appeals to just about everybody.
Yep.
And then you could be, you know, Lupe Fiasco, who dominates underground.
Yeah, very niched.
Very niched.
Yep.
So, you know, for me, I'm like, I like the Jay-Z look at things. I like the Gary Vee look at things, Grant Cardone look at things.
Yeah.
I don't want to be too underground, man. Like, I'm playing for legacy in a way. So that's how I always envisioned. I feel like if I stuck to my vision and my morals, I'll never waver it. So I have not shot OnlyFans content to this day, thank God, which is crazy. I haven't did like nothing out of my loop. I've been fortunate to be where I am today, thanks to those things.
Yeah, absolutely. So talking about where you're at today, I know you had another quote that says it's a battle being a businessman and a creative, which I completely empathize with the struggle of businessman and the creative. But the end of that quote, you talked about, hey, to balance that, it's all about building a good team and learning as much as you can. Tell me about that quote and what's going through your head as this businessman / creative.
So I'm still battling with myself.
It's a daily struggle. I get you. It's a daily struggle.
Being like completely transparent. So it's like now, you know, for me, over the next month, I'll be creating contracts for various people because I wasn't doing contracts. I was doing handshakes because I wanted to be a good guy / I know on the creative side, I'm going to deliver to you.
Yeah.
But sometimes we as creatives, you would notice, we care so much about our art that we'll forget about the business side of it to one where we devalue who we are.
Yes.
And next thing you know, we got somebody taking advantage of us because they see how creative we are.
How valuable you are. Yeah.
So I feel like when you move as both, it allows you to protect yourself, one. Two, those boundaries. You gotta have boundaries. Nobody like step over it. They won't feel like that they can test you or try you, take more out of you. Cause you know how it is, man. As a creative, we're giving so much life into what we produce and what we create that it's like on the business side of we gotta be thinking and moving as such. So that, and then two, the relationships. Right? So as a businessman, we all know relationships matter.
That's it. That's key.
Honor your word.
Yep.
Meet as many people as you can. Promote yourself as much as you can.
Yeah.
So, you know, every time I meet somebody, you know, one, I try to be honest. I try to be myself.
Yeah.
And then I don't try to be likable. I try to be me. You know, so if they accept me, they accept me. If they don't, they don't. But no matter where I go, I'm gonna be me. So like even in today, I was like, should I dress up for this? Go crazy? Nah, pull up how you would on the shoot.
There you go.
Dress your best as much as you can. So and then like I feel like my clients are my team right now. I'm trying to find people who are hungry to be a part of this.
Okay.
But you know, one thing I realized too is that you can't project who you are onto people.
Yes, sir.
So it's like, I want you to be obsessed like I am, but you might not have that dog in you yet. Yeah. So let me just let you try to find it and see if you're serious about it. Then I'll let you run with me. But in the meantime, I got shit to do. So let me keep moving.
Let me ask you this, because one of my favorite quotes or ideologies is that you can take a mule to the water, but you can't make it drink. Right? So you can show all these individuals, you know, how to have that dog, but you can't put that dog inside of them, right? So I'm not going to talk about those other individuals. We talking to Alex. But what do you think gives you that dog inside of you? What gives you your drive?
I think experiences, man. Long story short, honestly, it was my dad. You know, my dad and my mom. My mom taught me grit. So like it would be times where, let's just say like I couldn't get to work, right? She'll make me walk to work. which is crazy.
Wow.
But I'm a whole teenager at the time in Detroit. So, you know, the stuff I got into, but like, there's no excuses on my end. So I make sure I get to work on time when that type of stuff would happen. And then with my dad a millionaire. So even when he became a millionaire, he was still working like he was broke. So it's like, you know, seeing that a number don't matter. Can you protect that number? Yeah. Can you increase it? You know, so I think that's what gives me my dog. Like, I don't really care about the whole perspective of things. It's about what I feel in here. So am I fulfilled, you know?
Yeah.
And that's where I'm at with it, you know? So I think if anything, that's what gives me my dog. Like, I want to provide for my mother and my family. I just want to be stable, wealthy, and I just want to protect my happiness, man.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. No, for sure. I would ask you, in terms of being a creative and being a business person, right? What the creative come naturally, right? You're gonna shoot dope stuff because you love it, right? But what steps are you taking on the business side? What things are you doing, right, to make sure that you're protecting yourself from the business side, right? I know you mentioned Gary Vee, you mentioned Grant Cardone, so you're learning from people, right? Yeah, but what are you doing explicitly on the business side to protect yourself?
On the business side, it's like constantly learning, right? So I feel like we as entrepreneurs, we're always in them. Like, I feel like if you want to become better, you're constantly learning as you go. So now it's taking action, studying. All right, what's going on? What's the future, right? As a businessman, what's the trends? So like AI.
Yeah.
I know I could be eventually replaced by AI.
Yes.
It's only a matter of time.
Yep.
So what does my next move look like? All right, how do I protect myself business-wise? You know, whether it be taxes, even if I want to hire my first employee, is it best to hire them directly or do a 1099?
Yeah.
You know, so it's stuff like that. And, you know, I'm YouTube University. Every day I'm taking in something that feeds me. It's not a day that goes by where I'm not listening to an entrepreneur or some information that could be valuable to me or my business. Yeah. So that's how I protect the business.
Yeah, let me ask you a question about that. You talked about taking in constructive content, right? I'm really big on that. I say, hey, junk in, junk out. They talk about you are what you eat, you are what you consume mentally,
facts.
Right?
Yeah.
For me, there was a switch that went off probably around college, beginning of college, because of exposure, right? I met a lawyer, shout out to Naru, right? He told me he made $1 million at 24 and hasn't made any less than that since. He's almost 50 now, right? Yeah. And seeing his house, seeing the way he lived, and it wasn't just the material things, right? It was the seeing how educated he was as a black man, all of it, right? With that exposure, and I was like, well, how'd he get there? And that turned me on to self-development. That turned me on to podcasts to continue to educate myself and learning outside of a traditional academic setting, right? Was there a switch? Was there a moment for you that was like, hey, I need to be taking in constructive content every day? Because most young people, we don't think like that, right? Yeah. So what changed for you?
I think, honestly, I've always been the person. So my favorite rapper growing up was Young Jeezy.
Okay.
So, you know, Jeezy used to talk that talk. So and I'm from Detroit. Like, at that point, the only thing you want to do in Detroit is get you some money and stay out of trouble. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
You know, so growing up, I was like, man, whatever it is out there is better than what's here. Like, I can't stay doing this. So I was always the type of person to like dive into like self-development books. But when it really clicked, honestly speaking, was in 2019 when I got fired from the firm. I was like, yo, I don't have nobody to teach me anything. So, and I think, my circle was so small, I couldn't go to anybody else. Yeah. So it was like, ironically, like me and my dad happened to be my boss. So I was fired by my own dad. Okay. So, you know, at that time, I'm like, man, screw him. Yeah. And like I said, you know, as you learn more and more about your craft, you become, more obsessed with it. So it's like day in and day out on these shoots, I'm making mistakes here and there. So all right, how can I learn from my mistakes? And then what are these other professionals doing online that I can implement in my life? Yeah. So it was just a matter of like, for me, honestly, it's just a moment. It clicked right now. I didn't want to work for nobody else. That was the promise I made to myself. Because I was like, if I could be fired by my own dad, I could only imagine.
You could fire anybody.
Anybody.
Yeah.
So from there, I was like, screw this. I'm going to learn as much as I can. I'm become as obsessed as I can. Because like I said, Grant Cardone, Be Obsessed to Be Average, name of his book. I was like, screw this, man. We have to turn this into something. So now, within the past few months, I quit drinking, quit everything that's like BS wise. Just so I could like focus 100% on creating my ultimate life. Yeah. And that's where I'm at with it.
Awesome. To switch gears and take it back to the photography aspect, right? So you work with some big clients, right? I'll let you name off the people that you work with. I'll let you do that. But tell me, how did you get into the celebrity and influencer photography?
It goes back to what I talked about earlier, which is like relationships, right? So whoever I meet, and I'll treat them like they a big time star. Not doing it just because I could see something coming out of it. For me, it's like protect yourself, protect your brand.
I
don't want nobody to be like, oh, he made me feel weird on the set or anything of that nature. So me doing that over time, and like I just been fortunate enough to where I had like big influencers reach out, and I wasn't scared to do nothing for free. Like I think a lot of the people that start off in photography and videography, they scared to try doing stuff for free. It's like, how do you expect to build if you're not putting the time in or doing something for free? It's like, I believe in cross promotion as much as possible.
Yeah.
That is real. Yeah. So honestly, I believe that's what played a role in it. Me taking care of people, me believing in cross promotion, because if I'm like, hey, I see you got 100K followers, hey, let me shoot you for free. Yeah. And a lot of times they'll take that on because they shooting pictures with their cell phone. This.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, best bet. So that's how I started off initially. One of the people who talked me into taking this like Autry series was a mega influencer in the DFW area, Brandy Yvonne. Her, Less Than Eustache, I Am Lee Stacks on Instagram. Now they have a combined amount of following of 500K. When they started with me, it was probably 100, maybe. Yeah. 75 on the low end. But them two being the closest to me and actually believing in me, I think that's what strengthened it. Yeah. And from there, man, I just spread like a wildfire. Yeah. And I still feel like it's way more to go. Like I could see myself having 50K followers on the gram and even in 100K on TikTok, so that's what played a role. Just working with who's hot and then building a relationship with any and everybody as much as I could.
Gotcha. Talk to me a little bit about some of the celebrities that you work with and what those experiences have been like.
Man, so a lot of people know me for working with, Cash Dow, Chico Bean. Who else? I didn't work with a couple people, man. Like, it's so many sometimes I be forgetting who I didn't work with. But I done been with Martin Lawrence, which is crazy to me. Like,
childhood idol right there,
Yeah, we grew up watching him on TV.
Yeah.
Actually, so a funny fact is that the building that's on the actual show.
On Martin?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I used to stay behind there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That was a crazy moment for me to be backstage with him. And, that was thanks to Chico Bean.
Okay.
And Natalie, boss lady. But yeah, it's a couple people, man. Claremont twins, they done work with Kim Kardashian, Yeezy. So they supermodels essentially. But it's a bunch of people. And I think the ones that gave me the most opportunity was Chico Bean and Cash Dow. Yeah. Anytime Chico Bean comes to town, and when I first met him, he said, whenever this guy comes to town, give him a job.
Wow.
And then with Cash Dow told her where I was from, which she happens to be from Detroit. We graduated at the same time.
Okay.
So same night, she's like, all right, you're going to do my lifestyle pics. Because I'm like, my goal is to make you change your profile pic on your page.
Yeah.
Ironically, that happened, manifested.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, I'm on the road with her, which is crazy,
That's
crazy.
Yeah.
A couple months later. So I didn't work with a couple people, which led to me working with Meek, all those guys. So
very dope, very dope. So the name of the podcast is The Secrets of Silent Success. So what is Alex's secret to success?
My secret to success is, I'm gonna call it tunnel vision, right? So tunnel vision is like, if I say I want this, I'm going to make it work. No matter what, like there's no obstacles that's going to stop me from achieving what I want. And then I'm willing to cut out everything that's like a distraction at that point. So I'm not hanging out just to be hanging out. I'm not indulging in BS. Like you say, like, you know, what you watch, what you eat, what you take in, you got to watch it. So like, you know, you talked about working out earlier off camera. I work out too, you know, so tunnel vision, consistency, like with hustling, like you don't stop hustling, man. Like whatever you do, you know, you got to constantly work. If you're not working every day, the next man is. So you're going to let the next man outwork you? Probably not a good idea, because they might pass you up. And then the third one is, you know, keeping God first in everything I do. I start my day with God, end my day with God. So, and I want to get better and better with that relationship with him. So yeah, tunnel vision, consistency with hustling, and keeping God first in everything I do. Those are my secrets.
Cool. We'll leave it there, man. Right. I appreciate your time. This is fun, man. We'll do it again sometime.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Thank you for having me.
Sure. So I appreciate you all for watching this episode of Secrets to Solid Success. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate your time, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.